The following video contains content that some viewers may find sensitive or distressing. I strongly advise viewer discretion. This video discusses topics that might invoke an emotional response or raise uncomfortable questions. It is important to approach this content with respect and an open mind. Please be aware the intention of this video is to raise awareness and promote understanding. It is in no way meant to alarm, harass or cause undue distress to anybody. We have carefully created this content to strike a balance between shedding light on important issues and maintaining a safe and respectful viewing experience, and hopefully some laughs along the way. If you feel the content discussed in this video may be triggering for you, I suggest considering your emotional well-being before proceeding. Remember, it is acceptable to step away or seek support if needed. Self-care and prioritising your mental health is essential. We kindly request all viewers to engage in constructive dialogue within the chat and comment section. And with that said, enjoy the video. Hey guys, I'm the Fact Freak and welcome to today's video, the vile TikTokers Iceberg. Now, for those of you who don't know how these iceberg videos work, basically the tip of the iceberg we all see, we all know, it's what we know the most. But the further down the iceberg, obviously, and the deeper it goes, the less that is visible to everybody or is well known. So with these iceberg videos, people put groups of things into tiers. So tier 1 will probably be the most known about something, whereas down at the bottom will be the least known. So this is what we're going to attempt to do with this mammoth video. We're going to look at a lot of vile TikTokers that are known for letting their mouth go, telling lies, being offenders, having dark criminal pasts. We've got it all here. But don't forget, if you think I've missed somebody, let us know in the comments and tell us why, because there could always be another iceberg video in the future. Let's get on with it. Right now we're straight into tier 1. These may be some of the most known vile TikTokers. And where do we start? Well, take it away, Paul.
Remember, before the Euros there was a footballer that nobody knows, and now it's the World Cup. And he scores his goal, his name was Jack Grealish, his name is Jack Grealish. And you're like, oh, he's my bubba, he's my boo 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 boo, oh, he's my bubba, he's my boo 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 boo. And about, hi.
That horrifying song is what shot Paul Breach into viral, I suppose, success at the time on TikTok. And he went absolutely stratospheric. And then we found out all about his behaviour and who he really is. And that was a man who knocked up somebody with a rather large age gap. And the rumours were going around to how big that age gap was. But never mind, he made friends with a Karen. And let's listen to some of this.
Yeah, I'm friends with Paul Breach. We went out in Sheffield last night and he even stayed over at my house. That's not the first time we've been out and it won't be the last. I wasn't aware I needed TikTok's permission, whom I associate with and what I do in my personal life. And yes, I'm well aware of the rumours. He got a 16-year-old pregnant. Did it? Is that...
Now, she then goes on to say, well, there's a 17 age gap in her relationship, 17-year age gap in her own relationship, so she didn't say that to be an issue. I don't think Karen here and Paul Breach are still friends, but of course more and more came out. But of course he did then go on to do an interview with somebody where he said the following.
No. How old was she? 17. How old were you?
27.
That's the right look, because as he just confirmed there, he got a 17-year-old pregnant while he was 27. But he says more to confirm it through this interview.
No, is it illegal to get a 17-year-old pregnant?
No.
It's
He'd know.
just creepy.
Exactly that. And that's what the issue is with Paul Breach. But of course, I'm just going to do now a very quick compilation of lots of weird, creepy stuff that Paul Breach has done.
That's naughty. They'll be calling you a wrong one next. Ah, there's a plane crash in Tanzania. Oh, hello, sweetie. Hello, cupcake. Hello, my little delectable princess. Hello, my queen. Hello, my bubs. Get in bed. Put a pillow behind your head. Get the duvet. Get into whatever position you feel comfortable. Close your eyes. Turn the lights off.
So yeah, the Breach makes it straight into tier 1. But who's next on our list in that tier 1 category?
I'm way worse than bipolar. I'm manic fucking schizophrenic fucking booyaka in the place.
That's right, next on our list, making that tier 1 spot, is Chelsea Liart. But let's have Chelsea introduce herself.
Alexa, who is Chelsea Liart on TikTok?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, Chelsea Liart is a British TikToker who is famous for being severely hateful and shouting phrases such as rude, booyaka and nostrils at people. She states she is a self-made millionaire, but all that money can't fix the cupboard doors on her £1.4 million council flat.
I mean, Alexa couldn't be more spot on. I mean, I've got to say, Chelsea Liart can be a guilty pleasure for a lot of people, as she is quite entertaining at times. However, the reason she's made it on this list is for actions like this.
Pounds a week. I work for TikTok. I'm going to America. I'm an artist, darling, and I'm a millionaire. So, excuse me, I work for TikTok. I'm so famous, I can't even walk the street, darling.
And it really is moments like this. For example, recently Chelsea was kicked out of the accident emergency department in a hospital, you know, just by refusing to cooperate with staff there. But I mean, there's many incidents of her losing her temper in the street. I mean, here's a few examples.
And go and have a bath, you tramp. So what? Listen, we don't need the drama. Link up TV roots. Because I'm in the public eye and I don't want no guys in my face.
I can't change your table. If you don't want this table, then pay the bill and that's fine.
You threw this at me because you're eating olives.
Look at him.
Nah, man. Your attitude stinks.
I think she needs to maybe have a listen to those words about herself. But yeah, so that's what puts Chelsea Liart straight up in that tier 1 spot of vile TikTokers. But would you believe that the next person in that tier 1 spot actually linked up with Chelsea Liart to create a perfect storm?
Hey, Roots. Mama Roots in the place. Alfie is now back with the one and only Roots, Chelsea Liart.
Yes, so Alphaba has made it into that tier 1 position of vile TikTokers. Now, Alphaba has done a lot of vile things, just like everybody on this list. Now, one of her biggest sort of things that she does is lie. If Alphaba is talking, she is lying. And we're going to have a look at some of the stuff she's lied about. I suppose the best thing to do is to hear it from the horse's mouth. Poor choice of words? Nah.
I lied about being diagnosed with autism, correct?
Not only did she lie, she actually entered a competition called Autism's Got Talent, which I think she won. Doesn't matter really, shouldn't have been doing it.
And that's damaging. But I'm taking an effort into being diagnosed for it. I think it's fucking clear I'm autistic. Let's be real. And it's not that deep. That's why I get a lot of hate from, you know, these situations. But I get put into these situations by haters.
You don't get put into these situations by haters. You get put into these situations because you lied. It's unbelievable. Alphaba has this sort of way of trying to turn everything onto everybody else. You lied, you were called out. People who are calling you out are not trolls, haters. They just don't like your lies. And you see, this is the problem with her. She plays the victim every day for just being called out on her own BS. I mean, not long ago, obviously she posted this image on her Instagram. You'll see, guys, this is her Insta right here. So she posted it up, obviously trying to get sympathy, trying to get views. And of course, people on TikTok were all over it. Didn't take them long to discover that obviously that image came from Google. And you see, this is why I'm 100% sure that she deserves to be in that tier 1 spot of vile TikTokers. And remember, we are just scratching the surface with these wrong'uns. Now, the next person to make that tier 1 spot of vile TikTokers is the first person with a horrible criminal record, currently serving prison time. And that person is Anthony Q. Lyon, a TikToker with one big following who used to go live most nights and sing with his infant child in his arms and wife not far away. However, he abruptly announced his departure from TikTok, but there was more to it than it would seem. Now, this is, of course, Anthony Q. Lyon alongside of me, and that was the shocking headline that was linked to the man. Now, I'm going to read a little bit from the news article, but I suggest you Google it and check it out yourself if you don't know about it. But there's only obviously so much that I can say on here. Now, he was allowed to walk free after being found guilty of that horrendous crime. Now, it was said that this was because judges were told that jails were overcrowded and that they should release until sentencing. Now, this allowed him to go home after his trial in September, but when he came back for his sentencing, he was nearly an hour late and entered through the same door as his victim moments before she gave her impact statement to the court. It also caused further delays as barristers tried to make sure their paths did not cross as they waited outside, and as the married dad of one took time to say goodbye to his family. Now, he's been jailed for 7 years after that horrendous crime, but it also said that the prosecutor put forward that after a recording of part of the attack, the victim had asked him to stop over 100 times. Obviously, this is a vile and horrendous crime that shook TikTok to the ground, because nobody truly knows who these people are on the app. And as we go into other tiers, you're going to see a lot more offenders, and it's going to become apparent to you guys that social media is not a safe place to be. That was the end of our tier 1 list. Into our tier 2 now, just about going below the surface of the iceberg. I mean, this is a polite reminder as well that obviously this is just me putting together a list. You guys may disagree with where people are put on the list, and that's totally fine. We're here for awareness. Now, who is going to be first on that tier 2 list?
Anyone insulting me on my looks is just envious because you're ugly yourself. Because I'm beautiful. So you want to look in the mirror once in a while, but then again, probably every mirror you've got is probably cracked, so you probably can't even see straight. Is the earth flat or round? Interesting question.
So yes, the next person on our list is no other than Evil Queen, or Chelsea Harwood. Now, she proudly says if you want to know anything about her, just go and Google it. And if you Google it, you may find articles like this one where she talked about her botched plastic surgery on 2016 Celebrities Botched Bodies. When she spoke about it, she said she looked down and it looked like a double-decker bus had smashed into her private parts. But that's not what she's known for on TikTok and why she's made the list. It's her Evil Queen act, as she says, which is quite controversial. At the time, she would go live with people and just absolutely annihilate them. There was no boundary that she didn't seem to cross. Chelsea said it was all an act. But what do you guys think? Here's some clips and tell me in the comments.
I've never said anything about any disabled people. Show me the footage.
Yeah, I've got
It's
footage.
Chinese rumors. Chinese rumors. We'll leave. Come on, I'll wait for you to go. And then when you go, I'll go. That, she's scamming a lot of yous. She might as well be pulling your pants down and giving it to you bareback. You're so funny, you need to. This is my own TV show. I wouldn't get away with half the things I say on here on TV.
And of course that last clip was Chelsea saying that a disabled girl was faking it, basically, and conning people because Chelsea was jealous that that girl was doing better on the TikTok weekly rankings than she was. Now, of course, Chelsea's mouth may be vile and maybe isn't even the most vile thing about her, but the next person on our list is actually a danger to children. And that is Mark Feely, who is actually being labelled Britain's most protected P, and I think you know what I mean by that. Like, he was located last in Birmingham, but police were always having to move him out of areas. He's been caught several times by hunting teams for grooming young girls online. However, even after overwhelming evidence and admissions from himself, the CPS have actually refused to convict him of the offences, blaming his learning difficulties and mental health. And here's a clip from one of his stings.
I do.
I'm a citizen.
No, I've got the right.
We're parents, that's what we are.
Do you know what?
I've got the right.
You do have rights.
You've got
rights. What rights? About what?
I've got the right.
You got rights to nonsense our kids.
You
got rights to
Keep your hands
nonsense our
down.
kids.
Keep your hands down.
I've got the right.
Now, of course, with him becoming one of the most notorious wrong-uns to walk Britain, obviously there was various sightings of him where people would accost him and eventually the police would have to move him from location to location. Currently he is not being seen on social media for a while, but that doesn't mean to say that he isn't lurking under the shadows. And it's a reminder as well that this might be the first one on our list that's been stung by a hunting team, but it won't be the last. Now for our next one on our list, we're going to have to say hallelujah, hallelujah, for it is no other than Father Bennett.
With your judgmental, decaying mind, call on Jesus, stop being a hypocrite. Oh, I see why now, because you're massive. You know, when somebody gets that big, it's because nobody around them loves them. I want you to know that. It's the reason why you're that big is because no one loves you. No one told you when you were getting bigger, hey, you're putting on a little bit of weight. And you go, oh, wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much for loving me. Instead, they let you get to the point where you might have a heart attack and die now.
And of course, that is Father Bennett, who said that when he received 10,000 views on TikTok, the Lord God spoke to him and said, go forth, get as much money as you can from vulnerable people, while misquoting the Bible. But as we've just seen, obviously, the real Father Bennett is a vile individual. And I'm going to reinforce that with a few more clips now.
Tomorrow, my brothers and sisters, we're going to do the weekly ranking, remember? So we're aiming to get Jesus to #1. It will be our best opportunity to do it on Monday. I've asked you a question. Do you want to know what it says in Scripture or not? Yes or no? If you don't want to, that's fine. You can leave. Okay. Why are you here, Rachel? Why are you here, Rachel? Reveal yourself. Why are you here? Why? You know everything. You know it all. You behave like you know nothing. And you don't want to learn anything because you know it all.
I can't believe he doesn't understand the irony in the statement he's just made. But we must move on to somebody now. Wait a minute, I can hear something.
Guys, stop getting me so excited with this. Who's actually come to the door? Beast cunt! Who came in the door?
I'll tell you who it is. It's this little pouty fella at the bottom. This is Diadro, the Beast of Scotland, who was caught sending messages to a 16-year-old girl. Not only that, messages were shared by ex-partners, showing just how vile he is. We'll go through some of them now. And I mean, this is just me just grabbing a few messages. I mean, look at this one. I mean, can you imagine saying, "This is on you, babe. Diadro, over and out"? I mean, that's got to be one of the saddest things I've ever seen. But as you can see, it's massive gaslighting, these messages. You had a choice to come fight for me. Deep down in your heart, you know I was the one. And nobody will ever make you feel alive as me. That's a fact. That's gaslighting. That's gaslighting. Saying that, you know, you are like the saviour. You are the only one who could make them feel that way. You have no idea. Best of luck trying, because you should be in my bed and you choose not to be for the last time. Clearly whatever you have planned tonight is more important, so I'll make my plans. Now if that doesn't scream somebody who is controlling and trying to stop somebody from living their life, I don't know what is. So you can see why Diadro has made it onto this vile TikTokers list. This is just a quick shout, guys, to see if you were enjoying this Iceberg video so far. Please hit that like button, and remember, a lot of these people I have done deep dives on, and you can check them out on this channel. Now the next person on our list is going to upset all the animal lovers out here, and I mean, if you're not an animal lover, what's wrong with you? Let's face it, animals are better than people, but that's not what BJ Bradish thought. Now, of course, this is BJ Bradish, and some of the following footage is going to be quite upsetting, as it came to light that there was a disturbing video of the man shaking an animal before telling it to F off and throwing it across the room. A thud could be heard in the background as the cat hit the floor. In the clip, which the newspaper had decided not to fully publish, the man then says, "Doing me nutting every day of my life, those cats." He also said if they would only just die, you know, if they all just effing die, I don't have to pay for them, then will I? Effing scumbaggy things. Now it is believed that he streamed obviously the horrific incident from his own Facebook account, and it was then filmed by others and shared widely across social media. Now, not only is he known for abusing animals, but he's also known for being at court regularly over domestic violence charges. Here is a post from his own Facebook where he said, "I'm back. Been in the cells all day, but won my appeal through mitigated circumstances. My 2 years start now. Thank you to everyone for all your messages. It's been a crazy day and a long read. It's lovely what people will say when they think I'm not allowed to read it. Tut, tut, tut. All I say is grow a pair." Now, we often boast on social media that he lives a life of luxury. However, this strange picture from his Facebook account shows something a little bit different. I've got so many questions about the tin foil on the bedside table, to the milk, to the pot noodle on the other. I mean, this is interesting. Oh, hang on a minute. Are those rolled up pieces of paper on that bedside table? I am truly shocked. Now, I don't know why looking at my empty bottle of red from last night makes me think of the next entry on this tier list. This alongside me is Sobriety Jack, somebody who puts the name Sobriety in his username, but regularly breaks his sobriety after maybe 24 hours, asking for people to send him money to continue his apparent habit. Now, he's done everything from mocking disabled people to being racist and just being a generally vile human being. I mean, putting us through this is enough, but here's some clips about what I'm talking about.
No, she don't need it. You need it. Stay sober if you can, yeah? And spend your money on food rather than shit lip fillers, all right?
I'm dribbling. Oh, sorry, I'm dribbling. That's what they do, don't they?
What? A relapse.
So the next clip of Jack is so vile that if I was to put the whole clip up unedited, well, this channel would be going bye-bye. So I'm going to cut in there now and again and explain in a nice way what Jack is trying to say. Jack would like you to not exist anymore and refers to you as a female dog.
You worthless!
He refers to you as a female dog again.
Slit your
Jack would like you to take a sharp kitchen utensil and do that.
No!
And of course, let's not forget when Jack put a slice of ham over his face to mock a burn victim. I mean, this guy really, really strongly belongs on the vile TikToker's Iceberg. Now, the next person on the list into that tier 2 spot said these words on a live stream.
Would you? So you are fat then? Yeah, we knew that. I'd rather be a peddler, actually, than fat.
Yes, it's no other than Lucy, the stalker and convicted P, who slept with a 15-year-old. Let's get into it. Now, this is Lucy. She won Come Dine With Me, but she also had relations with a 15-year-old schoolboy, and I think you know what I mean, guys. Now, if you Google her name, you'll find various articles. Now, the reality TV show contestant said she was glad that it was her that slept with the child rather than a skanky 15-year-old. But the friend told the boy's mum and he broke down when confronted about what happened. Now, this has led to her deflecting and blaming other people, not only victim shaming the child, but also saying vile things about the parent of that child. I'm going to put those clips up now, guys. Be warned, they ain't pleasant to watch. So why are you still talking about it, Forehead?
Bloody hell, it was 3 minutes and he hadn't...
She's talking about the kid that she with...
clean his teeth either.
As you can see, as I was live reacting to that, I couldn't believe what she was saying about that child. That he only lasted 3 minutes in bed and that he didn't clean his teeth first. I mean, it's absolutely insane. And the worst thing is, she's actually on TikTok right now claiming to be able to coach people through narcissistic abuse with zero qualifications, sucking in more and more vulnerable people. And with that, it's time to move to tier 3 of that iceberg. We are going deeper and deeper into the unknown. And what a place to start than with somebody who tried to force themselves on a woman, a friend, and when the police came across the crime, they believed that they tried to kill that friend. We are, of course, talking about Jade Palmer, the trans TikToker revealed as, like it says, on that register for life. So this UK-based transgender TikToker actually received a sentence for 9 years in prison after being convicted of a vicious, and I'm just going to point it out right here. I can't say that, obviously. Now, in February 2015, Warwick County Court heard how Jason Crocker, then 38, brutally attacked a woman in the back of his van in May 2013 before strangling her and leaving her unconscious in a remote area. Now, Crocker had been known to the woman for several years as a friend. They had lured her on the premise of being in need of help with moving his belongings. Instead, he drove her to a secluded field in the countryside and demanded relations from her using graphic language. When she refused, he physically attacked her. Now, the judge added in the case that Crocker had used considerable violence on the victim and that she could have died. The verdict from the jury hearing the case was unanimous, and they were sentenced to 9 years in jail, of which they served just under 5. Now, disturbingly, since being released, she has quite a following on social media, where she's always playing the victim.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just having a bad life. It'll be over eventually.
And to top off talking about this wronging, let's include a live reaction. So I've got a video here and I have titled it "Asking People to Harass Me." So let's see.
I know. It's just one of my followers that said this, right? Now then, if you're worried about that, then fair enough. But you know what? What you should do is all make comments on his videos and say to him that you support me, right? You will get banned and blocked from his videos on his because I did it. I got a fake account. I said, "Oh, I support Jade Palmer." He banned me there and then. So I went on with another one and went, "Why are you banning all people and blocking them
that support rapists? They're enablers.
That they say they support me." He won't say why. He'll just ban you.
Okay, I'm saying it right now on this YouTube video because they are supporting somebody like that. They are enablers. They act like it's all okay and they pat you on the back, but you're wrong.
But yeah, Fact Freak, F-A-C-T Freak. If anyone's worried about him, right, go onto his
state of that place
channel and tell him what you think of him. Tell him you support me, right, and you'll get blocked straight away.
It's a good way to narrow down the wrong-uns, to be fair.
Guaranteed.
Oh my god, you guys can't see the comments, but somebody just said, "He's so jealous of you, Jade." What the hell is there to be jealous of? You are a convicted rapist. And, I mean, yeah, I don't know what.
Doesn't like it. He'll call you a wrong-un, he'll call you a supporter, he'll tell you you're a wrong-un supporter and all that lot, right? And do you know what you want to do? Is reply back to him and say you can support who you want.
And I can have an opinion that it's very wrong of people to support people who are spending their life on the register because their crime was that bad.
Is that what they said? Don't worry about him. But yeah, don't worry about him. Tell him to go get one because he's a bully at the end of the day. If he's doing that, he says on one thing on his last video he did on YouTube, right, that he doesn't like bullies. If he's going after my supporters, he's bullying. Contradicting himself again. My wigs I get them from various different places, Roxy, and mostly...
You are not a good advertisement for a wig shop. Oh, whoops, that would be me bullying again. But the thing is, you see, it's not bullying, it's an observation. And also, people like this, yeah, the gloves are off altogether. Let's move on to our next entry. And the next entry in this list is actually a couple, a vile couple, and listening to one of their live streams and reacting actually left me speechless. Here's a clip.
Okay then! I've just finished my fucking period and because I want to want you.
This is the woman. I'm sorry, I no judgment, but my god, I thought this was the guy. But they just said they finished their...
Say no! Because I'm more in the mood. I'm not going to do something if I'm more in the mood.
R.I.P. headphone users. I'm sorry. The full clip is on my awareness video about them, but these are the two, the happy couple. But there's a lot behind this one and a lot behind this one. Would you believe that one of these is actually related to a famous killer? Now, both wrong-uns have committed crimes against children, and Craig Galloway here actually appeared at Sheriff Court and admitted to possessing indecent image of a child. And as you see here, that resulted in him being removed from his property by the police after, well, the Scots, they don't mess about when it comes to these beasts. But she also has crimes against kids, so let's talk about her as well. And there we have this shocking article about the well, I suppose woman in the couple, Jade Jackson, who was actually the niece of Peter Tobin, as you'll see, the infamous killer. However, the two of them have been ran out several times from different areas. Now, Jackson was caged for 8 months for threatening to, and I'm just going to highlight that there, as I do not want to say it on here, a girl of 12 over a Snapchat row in 2016. Now, as it says, nobody wants them in that area. Our streets need to be kept safe for our kids. But yeah, she is definitely active on TikTok. With over 6,000 followers, honestly, I bet you're starting to realise now just how many wrong-uns there are on TikTok that are completely unmonitored and, you know, living freely among us. But the next one on our list is actually somebody from the Northeast that I tried to warn over a year ago that their life was tumbling and tumbling and tumbling. And if they didn't stop and address the situation and look after themselves and make better changes, then their life was going to get just worse and worse and worse. I didn't predict the next thing to happen to them, though. To end up single, alone, homeless in the street, and hated so much that you'd end up with a milkshake to the dish. I mean, I tried to warn her. And you see, Julie Askew, aka Geordie Princess, is one of those TikTokers where the mouth has gone and gone. She said some absolutely vile things, mocked people with cancer, you know, made violent threats towards people, committed DV on camera, taken narcotics on camera, you know, I mean, done stuff like this on camera, which makes me want to throw up, to be honest. But she's got worse and worse and worse, offending people to the state of where bricks were thrown through a window, and she's ended up going from cheap hotel to cheap hotel, begging on live for money. I did say at the time that I was concerned that her life was just going to snowball out of control, and I think, as we've seen from the milkshake to the dish, she's definitely not having a great time of it. Honestly, I just think she's vile, hence she's on the list. Well, the next person on the list to make it into tier 3 is somebody that's gone by many names. Adam Sargent, Adam Page, Team Honeybuns, and mostly known as Princess Flu. But let's have them introduce themselves.
Why are you guys fucking bullying people? Watch your back. I'm coming for you, psycho. The rule on offenders is a bit harsh. I think once is okay, second is okay, third time, I think you need to go to prison because that's actually wrong. 7 offences are in relation to children. Why would you rehouse me near a school, given my past history?
Now I could put a compilation in here for at least like 3 to 5 minutes of all the horrendous things that Princess Flu has said on TikTok, but I've never been able to share this with you guys. This is Princess Flu exposing, well, his shrinkle dinkle while on a TikTok live stream. As we all know, TikTok is accessible for anybody from the ages of 13 upwards. However, we all know that TikTok's security is not very good, and a lot of users under that age end up on the app. Now, this occurred when Princess Flu was being challenged about having bottom surgery, which, from what I can see, definitely hasn't. That then led him to do this live, where he showed an image on another phone to the camera, which I can only describe as a shrinkle dinkle tucked up a hidden passage with some sort of apparatus plug in front. Had it been used to stuff the shrinkle dinkle up? I don't know. But it's horrendous. I'm going to press play. I'm going to let it play. But when that image comes on the screen, I'm going to have to censor it slightly. Let's go.
So again, I'm going to do another warning. If you're underage, you should not be watching this. And after I show this, I'll hold it up. You'll see it, and then I'll end the live because of reports.
So he knows that the live will be reported because it's inappropriate, and he's basically just pleading, hey, if there's any children, could you please not watch? I mean, you know what kids are like. You say don't watch something, they're going to be like, oh, what's going to happen here? Well, anyway.
This is me. Ready?
No, we're not ready. We are not ready. I can, you know, I mean, that's quite blurred. Actually, that might do the job. That's quite blurred, but I think you've got an idea of what is getting displayed. Yeah, so absolutely vile behaviour, showing that sort of indecent image on a live stream. But you know what? I did mention a compilation, so I'm just going to throw up a compilation now of some of the other absolutely bat crazy stuff that he has said, done online.
I'll protect your children because you don't. Like, I'm actually pregnant and you're putting me through this. Like, someone sending a popo to my house again. The police was just up the door. Napping 2 children. Kidnap.
And then I was sectioned. And then I had to stay in the police cells for a little bit to deal with the, the assault. And then I was taken away under the Mental Health Act.
And then when I asked for the money back, it's, oh my God, you're stalking and harassing me, and then the police come. That's what happens.
Yeah, so that was Princess Flu, another vile TikToker on that list. And he's known for obviously lying, stalking, harassing, just doing really horrendous things. But it's actually quite similar behaviour to the next person on our list. But I'll let them introduce themselves.
It doesn't matter what I'm getting Ruby for Christmas. No one needs to know what Ruby's getting for Christmas. Well, that's no one's business. That's my daughter. I get her what I want.
Now that is Lucy Rose, and Ruby that she's talking about there is not actually a daughter, it is a reborn doll. But their children, Lucy's and Brian, who I'm going to introduce you to, her partner, their child is actually taken off them after the sustained physical violence from Brian. But anyway, I'm just going to show you what an amazing couple they are. So this is Lucy and Brian Rose pictured, obviously been together a long time. Now, Brian was actually accused of handcuffing a underage child to a radiator and leaving them for several hours, as well as other predatory behaviour. Lucy says absolutely vile things, lies quite regularly, and has even been known to sit on a hamster and kill it. I'm not lying, guys. I truly am not. So as I mentioned in that clip beforehand, Brian Rose actually handcuffed a 14-year-old girl to a radiator, leaving her all night when he was 27. This is something he's denied up until recently, and even just this year did he admit it. And I mean, just listen, guys.
Brian, let us see your face, just to, like, reassure her, please.
Jade, I'm sorry for handcuffing you all night.
Well done, Brian.
Wait, sorry, I didn't hear that.
I'll say it again, babe.
I'm sorry, Jade, for handcuffing you all night.
God for life. When you was 14.
When you were 14.
Wow. Absolutely admitting to it. And of course, like I said, they are a vile couple. And Brian has been arrested as well for multiple things at multiple times. Here's some examples.
Coppers there, yeah? No, hang on, wait a minute. Guys, 2 coppers, yeah? What? Did Brian assault me?
Let's try and do this as calm as possible.
Go on, did Brian assault me?
Okay.
Look at her.
I did not assault. No, there you go. No.
Look at
Over.
Cool. We get some information. And we've got her.
Whoa.
Well, no,
So
then I'm leaving her without a carer.
He's a carer.
Okay, we can sort that.
No, I'm her proper
You're
carer.
not. Brian's been arrested. Brian's been arrested, that's what's going on. Because the butchers on this live, they're thinking they're going to phone the police to a full-time carer and tell them he's assaulted me. Do you know what? the police is shit. The police do not care about two vulnerable adults getting their information doxed.
Now, whether you agree that they are classed as vulnerable adults, they are definitely classed as vile and belong firmly on this list. Now, the next person on this list has sort of changed their ways over the years, but is most notably known for their vile behaviour. They are actually a self-appointed king, and honestly, some of the things they said during the time that they spend drinking copious amounts of alcohol and streaming for 6+ hours a night will shock you. Like I say, this person has changed their behaviour quite dramatically, but they are still known for this vile behaviour. I'm just going to roll out some clips of them for this one.
Black, not mixed race, black family that came across from the world. Whatever, banana boat, whatever they came on. I don't care what they come on, plane, banana boat, well, I don't give a how they got here. They fucking got here in Southend, yeah? Listen here, you cuss. I told the council, I said, listen to me, you filthy cuss. I pay my tax all my life. I ain't leaving this council office to give me something, yeah? Listen to me carefully. You do not give someone, don't care what race you are, black, blue, yellow, purple, whatever, a property. You're on your own, mate. Your country's getting bombed for a reason. Your country's, yeah? We don't have to help you. Don't come here, mate. Don't come here. Boris, we're not in the EU anymore, dead. Stop letting them in.
Thankfully, Ian does no longer drink and no longer speak like that on TikTok live streams. I mean, those were absolutely vile comments, and that was just some. And now we move on to tier 4, deep below the surface, where we're going to find some real creatures and some real vile TikTokers. Now the next clip contains a racial slur dropped by no other than Rachel Skinner. Now be warned, guys, this clip contains a slur, and I'm only showing it for educational purposes to show what sort of behaviour is not acceptable. Yeah, let's go.
I'm a nigger.
Now, apart from that word being absolutely vile and should not really be used on the internet or anywhere, full stop, what I found most concerning was the artist, you know, doesn't say that word in this song at all. Doesn't say that word in this song at all. So why is that word what comes to your mind? Let's go through it again.
I'm a nigger.
Now, it's absolutely vile, obviously, what she said. So yeah, that was obviously a clip from our deep dive into Rachel, and she definitely falls under the category of TikTokers who say vile, horrendous stuff on live streams, and when she's pulled up on it, of course, she plays the victim.
Taking my money. It's taking everything that I own.
Can I just point out that she just looked down at her comment section there, was like, does anybody care that I'm crying? Honestly.
The government, because someone reported me to the DWP for being on TikTok, and now they're taking everything. And the woman on the phone just told me I have to shut up and put up with it. And that is tough shit, basically, in the nice way. So I'm losing my home, I'm losing everything basically now.
So videos and live streams of her crying, because her benefits might have been on hold because she was claiming so much money on TikTok through gifts, was the first sort of way that she came on my radar. Then people kept telling me, yo, facts, do you know what sort of vile things she actually says online? And I suppose at that point I didn't, but I'm going to share some of those things with you right now, guys.
You absolute Islam.
No, I never said that. I never said it like. No, I never said like that. I would never have said something like that. Why are you even laughing, you absolute Islam? Chat about some situations that's been going on.
I don't want to talk to a bully or a racist.
Is you calling me overweight a bully?
Hold on, I only called you that after you had a go at me. So I don't think so. And anyways, you can't say that when you're the racist.
Don't swear at me. I'm here to talk to you nicely.
Well, I don't want to talk to a racist, do I?
I date women and men that are black, and my barber is black, and my half my family.
But wasn't that what you said to Tyrone, was it?
You mean Speedo, but okay.
Speedo.
We're not talking about that anyway.
No, well, regardless, you're a racist.
And I'm sure now you can see why she made it onto this list. Now, the next person on the list has had several news articles written about them, and I'm going to quote one of them now before showing you who we're talking about. It says a teacher was left humiliated when her ex-partner posted links showing indecent images of her from a swingers club website on her own school Facebook page. So this is the news article we're talking about right now, and alongside me is Chris Emery, who you can find under multiple accounts on TikTok using his full name. Now obviously it says that teacher was humiliated, as you'd expect, and if you go on it says that Chris Emery tried to carry out his threat to ruin the life of his former partner by resurrecting old indecent pictures and videos of her and sending them to her employers. Now a court heard that the woman was left shocked and distressed when the school asked her to get in touch urgently and told her what Emery had done. Now, of course, Emery, 29 at the time of Washington, pleaded guilty to disclosing those images and film with the intent to cause distress, which a judge said is often referred to, and I'm just going to highlight it, guys, as well as sending offensive messages and criminal damage. Now, of course, we did a deep dive on Chris, and he was a bitter little man, which I'm not surprised by, and he talks about me quite a lot, to the point of where I've got a few screen recordings of him doing exactly that I've not watched, so let's do a live reaction to that now.
And unfortunately I can't comment to the other part of the question due to a restraining order.
He's talking about the restraining order that his ex-partner currently has against him, and we're going to be talking about that in a moment as well.
Carly, can you answer Leah B, maybe? Carly, does your Carly 3...
So this is weird, right? So he's talking about his ex-partner, which I think he's obviously not supposed to be because of the restraining order. So he's getting his moderator to answer questions about his ex-partner. I mean, that's sneaky kind of harassment, that, isn't it?
If Carly 3667 or Lou GB answers you,
don't know what's happening here.
Then that is a true answer you're getting. I legally can't answer that.
What is with the fingers in the mouth? Christ.
Lou, you haven't actually answered it right. Lou, you've answered it wrong, to be fair. Carly, you maybe best answer it. What I would say is there was images shared via email to a head teacher. I don't think I'm breaking the law by saying that. There was images shared via a private email to a head teacher that supported a complaint.
Vile. So that's him basically admitting it.
And I think I should be alright to say that.
And now, of course, the reason he's worried about what he can and can't say is because obviously in December 2022, he breached the restraining order that his partner had put in place to protect her from him. As it says, man mentioned his ex in Facebook post while banned from referring to her online. So you'd see Christopher Emery was given a suspended prison sentence and a restraining order after being convicted of offences including malicious communication against his former partner in August 2020. As a result, he was banned from referring to the woman by name or implication on the internet. But Newcastle Crown Court heard that just 3 months later, a colleague of the victim noticed a post on Emery's Facebook which breached the social media ban. Prosecutor Emma Dowling said the post contained court documentation referred to the victim saying she wins again, and added, "We live a up world where women can take, then break, break, break. Justice is pointless, rehabilitation is pointless." The court heard the colleague who saw the post took a screenshot of it and alerted the victim, who contacted the police, and it was deleted within hours. The victim said in a statement, "This has made me scared that the harassment will simply never end despite the court orders in place. I feel he still controls our relationship and I will never be safe and free from him." Emery, 31, admitted to breach of a restraining order, and he said that he puts his mouth into gear without thinking and had taken the post down within hours. Now he was sentenced to a community order for 18 months with 80 hours unpaid and a £275 fine. Lucky to avoid jail. So the next person on the list is well known for lying and actually even reached out to the previous convicted SO and said the following.
Not really.
Yes?
Not really. I might not like the bloke, but he's not promoted you. He's not done you any favours.
He's done not one... Listen. He's done not one bit of negativity for my account. Was it a reaction? Yes.
Should you be talking about it if there's a court order in place?
Now, of course, that was the voice of Way Too Feisty For You talking to Chris Emery and really brown-nosing with the SO, saying, you know, we have a common enemy in the person who outs wrong-uns. Now, of course, Feisty currently has a non-molestation order against her because of some of the vile things she says about her ex-partner online. I'll show you a clip.
Right here, the window sat in that cushy house with everything on the go. And it's me and the kids who are going to be homeless.
Now this is what Feisty does. She plays the violin. She has blamed me for her homelessness. She has blamed her ex-wife for her homelessness. But we all know that the reason she was made homeless was because she didn't pay for the bloody house. She doesn't even own the house. The house belongs to her ex-wife. But of course she thought if she could make herself the victim enough, I don't know, people would give her money or something.
She gets off on the fact that she's making her kids homeless and fucking evil, just like you.
But the only person who is evil is her. When I outed her for raising money for a charity and then basically keeping the money, it's all in her deep dive, she went live and made these accusations. Now, I want to make it extremely clear to everybody that she has never shown any evidence to back up anything like this. Instead, ran a smear campaign against me, like a lot of these wrong-uns do. But yeah, have a listen.
Her Instagram hacked by him.
Yep.
And her pictures that she took at 15 for her partner, taken, put out there on the internet, and trolled with them for a long, long time.
And you got proof of it?
Yes.
But of course the proof never came because there can't be proof of something that never happened. But obviously she just continued to lie and lie and lie. And not just myself started calling her out. She started getting called out all over the place and couldn't keep up with her own lies or remember the vile things she's done. Now, recently, she actually teamed up with the No Contact coach. Now, you might remember her. She's the one we've already talked about in this video called Lucy, who had relations with a 15-year-old boy. So, obviously, I exposed all of that over on TikTok. And then, obviously, Aisha Feisty here ran straight up her backside to find yet again another common friend against a common enemy or whatever. And people started calling her out because she literally, doesn't matter whether you've shared revenge images of a partner like the last guy, Chris Emery, or whether you're actually convicted of crimes against children, Feisty will go running to you. Let's react to this.
Friends with the No Content coach. I was a follower of her for a long time because I'm a survivor of narcissistic abuse. I'm currently going through a big smear campaign myself at the moment, and it's evident to see.
The smear campaign she's talking about is every time she lies, somebody calls her out on it. Like, honestly.
The content coach is saying things, and I can understand why people are putting two and two together and coming up with 25.
So people didn't just like get to the conclusion that Feisty was hanging out with the No Contact coach, you know, the convicted P. You know, it didn't just randomly, you know, sort of just come out of nowhere, people talking rubbish. Actually, what happened was the No Contact coach set up a WhatsApp group asking people to mass report content of me exposing her for her crime. And Feisty joined that group and was talking to them, had conversations, and then people in that group went, hang on a minute, you're a convicted P, I ain't helping you, and they sent on the following voice notes. Let's have a listen.
Hi everyone, sorry for creating this group, it's just I've got like 85 of you on here, and it's just to give you a quick update that I think is really important. I've just spoken to Zealand Police about the Fact Freak, because I spoke to another girl that he's targeted for over a year, and she's been made homeless, and she was made homeless and hounded out her home because he was calling her and posting things about her really bad. He's got wind, obviously using a fake
Oh, this is interesting. Listen.
account because I blocked him everywhere, and I thought he'd blocked me everywhere. He's got wind that me and her have had at least a chat this morning, and apparently she's now being attacked again.
Now, the thing is, though, these people like to say the word attack, don't they, when it's somebody going, you're full of it, you're lying. You know what I mean? I bet they feel really attacked when they get called out on the BS. But that's their issue, not ours. But that obviously confirms it. That is her that she's talked about. That is Feisty she's talked about because, as we know, she blames me and everybody that she can think of for the reason why she lost her house. So yeah, Feisty the Slug really does show you what happens when a liar lies on social media. It doesn't take long for people to screen record and post evidence to contradict the BS. Now, the next person on this list is just truly horrific, and I have personally chased them off social media twice. When I tell you that their crimes include a baby, honestly, guys, you're not ready for this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a section of the deep dive I did on this horrible creature, where I am being read the charges that were placed upon this beast from the court.
Counts at which he was sentenced for.
And basically, anything that you can divulge, you're allowed to divulge about it, would be useful.
No problem. So, on the 30th of October 2015, he was sentenced to 4 years imprisonment. And that was for, let me just pull that up. It was for observe a person doing a private act, possess prohibited images of children, possess an indecent photograph / pseudo photograph of a child, and arrange or facilitate the commission of a child sex offence.
Wow, obviously very serious charges. I recorded that because I wanted evidence, obviously, for the deep dive, and I was looking at it and I was like, look at the clip of your facts. I've got my glasses are taped together. I'm just in absolute state. But I thought it was really important to put that full clip in, regardless of how I looked, to just show the reality I thought of it hitting me. Because charges like that, man, if you're a parent like myself, you can't help but think of your own children or people who you love. And it's just honestly a horrific list of charges. And the person we're talking about, of course, is Holly Stanley. And when they were convicted, there was Stephen Loveday.
Safe because of the gang of people that were outside the house. And then as soon as I was in the taxi, I was free to do what I wanted. So I went to a hotel. Because I've been in temporary accommodation, internet's been choppy, I'm on pay-as-you-go, so I haven't been able to use data, so internet and TikTok really haven't been a priority.
And of course that was her explaining what happened to her after the deep dive dropped. When it became public knowledge, her absolutely vile offences towards children, obviously the local people did not want her in the area and promptly chased her out of it. Now I'm going to read you the article about her charges. Now, of course, the article about him is on the UK database. Stephen Loveday, now, of course, it's said that he now calls himself Holly Stanley. Now, on TikTok, the accounts have been under the username Holly Oasis, Holly Stanley, and recently, Just the Facts. Now, it says a pervert had been sentenced after he was found guilty of a string of, and I'm going to highlight that, and they involved children. Stephen Loveday appeared at Leeds Crown Court where he was found guilty of 1 count of voyeurism, 1 count of possession of, and that's obviously an image of a child, 1 count of prohibited images of children, and 1 count of arranging or facilitating the commission of a, and you can read that, guys. The court was told that Loveday was caught with images of children which were described as being in the worst category of indecency, showing the, and I'll just put that there, absolute monster. I've chased them off the app twice and currently they are not there. Let's hope they never return. Next on our list is somebody who, well, has a little crew and does a lot of singing on TikTok. However, they have previous convictions. Let's have a look what they are. And this is the TikToker right here. Now he goes under the name Mitch Thomas Sings, I believe, on TikTok. But this, obviously, the headline, Gary Barlow impersonator in Take That tribute band act stalked a woman. Now, let's have a little look at it. A Gary Barlow impersonator in a Take That tribute band stalked a woman he briefly dated. Now, he told her he would end his own life if she did not agree to carry on their very brief relationship. Now, the 29-year-old, who calls himself Mitch Connor at the time, in the Take That experience, turned up at her place of work asking to see her. His hearing was told how she called the police and made a complaint against the professional singer, who she met through an online dating app. Now, 7 months later, he appeared in court where he pled guilty to the single count of stalking. Now, his solicitor said, "I would ask you to believe this was more of a case of unrequited love than stalking in the traditional sense. He does accept this was harassment to the lady concerned, but it was only over 3 days, and it would have been better to have resolved matters face to face. It came to his surprise when the police wanted to talk to him." Now, the prosecutor said he persuaded her to change her mind, but then she ended it by a message, and he set up various Instagram and Facebook profiles and contacted her through them. She blocked him on everything. He changed tack, leaving her voice messages, saying he was going to unalive himself if she did not answer. It was a guilt trip to try and get her to sleep with him. Now, he asked to come in and she repeatedly asked him to leave, which he eventually did after around 20 minutes. She went to work. She worked at a retail park, and when she got there, her colleague said a man had been there asking if she was working. They showed her the CCTV, and it was no other than Mitch Thomas. Now, District Judge Jonathan handed him a 12-month community order with 80 hours unpaid work. Now, I would imagine that after being part of this list, that... and not just down his face, probably everybody that's been on the list. The next entry here is going to truly shock you. There is a news article published about them of where they denied a crime. However, while live streaming on TikTok, they said that they'd actually committed this crime against multiple children. Now, this is the wrong-uns profile above me, and the news article read that a Motherwell man had been cleared of SAing 3 young girls. Now, he protested his innocence throughout the trial at Hamilton Sheriff Court and claimed that he had actually been set up. His alleged victims insisted they were molested as they slept on a couch during overnight stays at his home. A jury found him guilty of abusing one of the girls and found the charges against the other 2 girls unproven. However, due to the rules of the court, Sheriff Linda Nicholson refused to accept the guilty verdict and directed his acquittal on that charge also. One of the girls claimed she was 13 when she was abused by him. Now, this article about him is absolutely horrific, and we did cover it in more depth on an awareness video on this channel, but he is an absolute monster, and as several videos have proven now, he has gone live on TikTok and claimed that he did in fact molest all of those children. So the next person on our list is Royalty. I mean, if you think of Royalty as sharing indecent images of somebody without consent, then I suppose Queen Bee deserves a title. And this is the footage of the arrest taking place, no other than live on TikTok as usual. Now, she looks quite shocked. I don't know why you broke the law and bragged about it on TikTok. I don't know what you thought was going to happen. But I mean, as you guys will have seen in her deep dive, she's been arrested multiple times on live stream. Anyway, let's have a watch of this.
Queen Bee arrested.
I haven't seen this one for a while.
Still want to leave this out there, listen.
Wow. You're going down my son's in there too, thank you.
I got the door, you go through.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
I'm recording everything, by the way, for my own evidence. Okay. I'll show the door, please.
I'm recording everything for my safety. Immediately films just her chest.
Right.
Yeah.
Happy to be on that. Okay, right. Time in.
And this is where they start reading her right. As soon as they say time is, you know that they're making an official arrest time. It's just the fact that she didn't think this was going to happen that blows my mind.
It's 2:21. Okay, it's been an allegation that you have blackmailed on TikTok Live.
Oh yeah, that's right. Not only was she obviously sharing indecent images, but that she was obviously trying to blackmail a person with those images.
Okay.
With regards to some indecent images.
Okay.
And then use those images and broadcast them on TikTok Live.
Okay.
So in that case, as I said, time is 2:21. You're going to be under arrest for blackmail or revenge porn.
Okay, let me just turn that off.
Okay.
Yeah. Suddenly wants to turn that off, and I have no idea why. No idea at all. Absolutely crazy. Crazy that would be the case. Yeah, she's an absolutely self-appointed and self-entitled queen and definitely belongs on this vile list. So next on the list, we have somebody who should really see this coming. Of course, it is no other than the creepy, predatory, horrible, psychic James Bucknell, who expects you to pay money for his mediumship when all of he does is cold read and speak horribly about people. I'll just remind everyone of the TikTok I did, raising awareness of his predatory remarks towards a young girl.
You know Cheryl up there, everybody in top corner, and Bubble should be thinking that her ass is not nice. Look at her ass. Not wrong with her. Horrible ass. Cheryl, I bet you wish you went walking past this girl with your man when her ass like this. Am I right, Cheryl? So, Cheryl, if you were walking past this little beauty here and your man was walking with you, and you just know he can't even, you know he's pretending to drop something to turn around as she passes, you just know what he's done, would you want to jump on her and scratch her? Scratch your face and stuff? Probably, Cheryl. As the information in the Bible as well also says, I don't know, another one if you want, darling, because my view rate's gone up. We are batty in the air like that. I'm going to call you Love Heart Bum.
Yeah, I do remember, yeah.
I just want to see how far.
Can you all please stop my scream?
Nobody get a bit
no. How old are you? How many times do I have to tell you that I will get banned? Right, I'm muting you anyway.
Are you battling Bloody Sam Smith again?
Now, of course, after that clip, everybody made him aware of it. They called him out on his predatory behaviour, and he was come up with all sorts of excuses, like he didn't know that it was a child, etc. People said, well, why are you even speaking like that about strangers anyway? So after he was made aware that it was a child, he said this, which is just him literally doubling down on what he said. Listen to it, guys.
Give it to me again, I'd say, you know what? Yeah, I did, and I liked it. And I say she's got to love that bum bum again, nice big juicy bum bum, and your husband wanted to bite it. Your husband would have swapped her ass for your ass any day. Boom! He would have licked it, bit it.
It's horrendous, man. And at this point, knowing that that's a child, he is vile. Next person on our list sings a lot of karaoke on TikTok Live, but sounds more like the guy from the Goonies. And of course that monster is Sonny Sweetman, known as Big Soul Sonny on TikTok. Now this news article is around Sonny, and you can see obviously the defendant, Sonny Sweetman, 18 of the time, was remanded in custody for 4 weeks so that social services could carry an assessment in the view of the fact that there were children present at his address. Sweetman was convicted of SA at court in May of that year, along with other offences, and was given 12-month detention training order in order to register with the police as an SO for 5 years, so on that register. Now here is a clip of me going at Sweetman live on TikTok to end this tier. And after this, we move on to that final tier, tier 5. Now, you've probably guessed now that obviously it's not about the severity of the crimes, it's how well known I think these things are. Of course, it's totally up to opinion, guys, and you should let me know in the comments, was I right to put things where I have, or was I wrong? Who have I missed? Who should I include? And most importantly, would you like an Iceberg video again in the future? Make sure you're hitting that like button, guys.
You'll verify it. Tell you what,
because you could just look at anybody could email, couldn't they? Anybody could email, create an email address.
I'll tell you what I'll do for you. I'm going to get the email now. No, I'm going to get it. But look, and I'll show you. It's going to be an official email.
From who?
From the Daily Post North Wales newspaper.
So it's not from the courts.
In your video, I quote: "He got done and he got on a sexual prevention harm order." Wrong.
You did, yeah.
Wrong.
You did, though.
Wrong.
Sonny, you've already said it. You said it last night on your live. You said last night you were on one. Jesus Christ. And here we are. We've made it to the final tier. Hopefully these are some of the vile creators that you may have not heard of before. Let's watch the first one's Predator Sting.
You've been speaking to that 13-year-old child. You blocked her because she didn't do what you asked her to do. Right? And I know...
And this guy is on TikTok, an app for 13 plus. I mean, look at the greasy beast.
I've got the right person because I've just done a double check on it. Right? You've sent an indecent image of your penis to this girl. Yeah.
I did send a picture of someone, but...
You did. I know you did, right? It'll be better for you if you just be honest, right? Because, see, at the end of the day...
You'd never get an honest peddler.
You know you've been talking to a 13-year-old. You know it's been wrong, and that's why you've blocked her. Right? How do you... How's your surname pronounced? Lindor's, right? So, Martin Lindor's. Are you actually 23?
Yeah.
Alright, so you're 23, right? And you started speaking to this young girl online. Can you remember the one I'm talking about? I can show you her...
Is that because there's many kids that you're talking to? Like, what?
Her profile in a wee minute, right? Daz, you want to hold that a minute so I can... Sorry, you're getting held for everything.
Just down the door shut now, so
Alright, okay.
Really is a greasy beast, isn't he?
Right, I'm going to show you a profile. I don't want you to say her name out, right?
He actually put up a TikTok addressing this, and we'll look at that as well in a bit.
Give me the light.
There you go.
See it? Up there? That's your profile down there?
Yeah.
There you go, right. Sure, can you?
I'll put that in it.
Right.
Just to have the door shut down.
Yeah, I know it is. And, I mean, you went right straight there. Is
Casey.
definitely. It needs to be.
Straight into inappropriate content and messages to that child, obviously. What an absolute beast. Now, obviously, brilliant work as usual by hunting teams involved there. We had Children's Voices and Child Protection Team UK on the ground. Now, this is his, obviously, sting card, and you can see that he was communicating with a 13-year-old child, and he'd sent her explicit image of himself and asked if she was interested in... Well, you can read that, guys. This is an absolute beast, and only last night, believe it or not, as I was scrolling through lives, I actually saw his account in somebody's live stream. This is his TikTok account alongside me, and when we dropped an awareness video about him on YouTube, somebody in the comment section pointed out that if that username wasn't a red flag, I don't know what is. Obviously, you can imagine he's following a lot of young creators, and I mean young. I believe he's deactivated his account at the moment, but he keeps cropping up. Like I said, he was in somebody's comment section yesterday until I outed him in there, and he was blocked. And this is the post that he put up in reference to that sting. I effed up and lost everything I cared about. Now I'm going to work harder to prove I'm not the monster you think I am. Not asking for forgive. Can't forgive. Self. Just hoping in time I prove myself to be the person I was before this disgusting and the shameful act. This is a struggle to read. I lost everything from good friends and my job to a woman I really liked, but the person I hurt the most was someone who went from a friend to the only person spoke to some days to a sister, and I understand that what I hurt her deep. No. Do you know who the person who really suffered? The child, you monster. God, let's move on to the next one. Well, that one was absolutely horrible, wasn't it? Let's move on to the next one. And actually, I'll let them introduce themselves with a few clips of me reacting to some of the horrendous things they've said.
That somebody has been posting false allegations about me online.
I mean, this is your paperwork, isn't it, Chloe, where you said that social services have placed you on the register, and all that obviously is there. Also, isn't this you? Talking quite openly about what you have been investigated for in the past. and those children were taken off you and never returned to you, but you claim it was because you shared a meme on Facebook. I mean, don't take it from me, here's Chloe saying it.
They weren't taken away because of sexual violence, they were taken away because I shared something on Facebook.
You also said from your own mouth you were put on the register. I mean, this isn't just his, this is what you have said.
Down on the records telling that this person is a sex offender and all this. That's what they did with me.
Everyone knows I don't report on hearsay. Now, of course, that is her TikTok profile, Miss Chloe Jenkins. And obviously, if we have a look at this statement here, now, she actually posted this publicly herself, and I'm going to read it for you. She lives alone and is currently not in a relationship. She is unemployed and receives universal credit and PIP. From a previous relationship, she has 3 children, but they are all adopted. In the past, her neighbours alleged her of perpetrating trauma to her children. But due to lack of evidence, there were no charges or convictions made. She herself was alleged to have been raped several years ago on one occasion. More recently, her ex-partner alleged Chloe to have SA'd her. I mean, they don't just take your kids away from you because you share a meme on Facebook. I think everybody is aware of that. Absolute wronging. The next person we're going to talk about, we have to do a bit of reading of court documents. And it's court documents relating to this guy right here, Wild Forager UK. Now, as it says there, it is for an offence of common assault and harassment without violence. Now, this is a community order that was made. The defendant must comply with the following requirements by that date. Alcohol treatment required, have treatment for alcohol dependency by or under the direction of probation service for 6 months. Now, this is all related to DV, and we're going to have a look at some other documents. As you can see, this document lists more offences of common assault against a female, and it also says that he pled guilty to those offences. Now, of course, when I raised awareness of this sort of behaviour and what he'd done in his past, well, he didn't like it, like most of them. These are some messages he sent me. See, what you have done, sir, is a criminal offence, which I will now proceed with and seek prosecution against. Do you understand the law common assault? Also, did you know Rio does wrestling? I assume this is the ex-partner. This is his justification for DV. Unfortunately, some people will do anything for views, and trolls will do the same, and you, sir, have just overstepped your mark. You do great work, by the way, but this has really let you down. Weird how so many wrong'uns like my work until I shine a light on their behaviour. Did you also know that this girl drove me over the side of a motorway bridge in 2020, where I remained in hospital with serious injuries, in fact life-threatening? Do you know this girl had my dog stolen? I've never heard so much crazy crap in my life. He then posted a video like this. Stay in your own lane. I'll be seeing you both in court. Never go off trolls and people looking at views and followers to get right, yada yada. I'm still waiting for my court date. Still waiting. This next one is going to shock all the animal lovers out there. So, you've been warned. Now this dog lover, I don't know if that's the right word as we progress, is Denise Fraser, who was arrested after reportedly having intercourse with the animal. And she posted videos to social media of that alleged abuse. Now, she was charged on April 5th, and it was for animal cruelty charges and could have faced up to 10 years in prison if she was convicted. Police said that one of the videos of the incident seemed to have been taken in a Jeep in the parking lot of a Freedom Baptist church. Local authorities were alerted to a clip that was circulating on Snapchat involving a woman and a male canine by a resident who had spotted it online. The cop said, "In my 17 years of law enforcement, this is one of the most disturbing cases that I've ever investigated." Now, Fraser had made claims that she was threatened to do it and was forced into the disturbing act by people who pay her to make images and videos of the spicy variety. There is absolutely zero evidence of that claim, the police said at the time. Officials said 3 separate dogs were seen in the footage, although it still remains unclear if Fraser is accused of abusing all of the canines. Several videos were allegedly filmed between February 23rd to February 28th, and according to Adrift, Fraser is believed to have had intercourse with one or more of the animals while filming herself carrying out the disturbing acts. Now I'm going to show you a segment of the deep dive I did about this, and it's the part where I react to what she said about it on TikTok. Yeah, quite a read. Now I'm having to mute the audio, obviously, for copyright, but if we go back and read that, for all of those who say I have some nerve to say I effed my dog, like, nah, the only dog I was your boy, so stop saying it if it ain't true. Only my true friends would stick up for me. All I have to say is, yeah. Now, this is a news article about the incident that I did not report on at the time. It says, vile Twitter users get off to teen arrested for, obviously, what we were speaking about. It said a self-confessed, and I'm going to highlight that word there, fan has sparked outrage after uploading a video to Twitter showing how girls prepare for a horse. Now, she was arrested earlier this year, where she was reportedly charged with unnatural intercourse and aggravated cruelty to animals. Now, surprisingly, quite a few people responded positively to the shocking tweet, with one saying, "This is probably the craziest way to promote your spicy content, but it's working." Another commenter, apparently smitten by her twisted antics, wrote, "I love you." And a third clearly impressed Twitter user who goes by the name, and I'm not going to say that actually, added "such a dirty girl" and included a romantic rose emoji. Now, many others were appalled by her behaviour, and one sensibly pointed out, "Hope you're joking. People have died from doing that with a horse. It rips their organs apart." Absolutely horrific case, and definitely belongs on this vile TikToker's iceberg. And we've made it, guys. We are on to the final entry of the vile TikToker's iceberg. Please don't forget to like this video if you've enjoyed it. Make sure you're following if you're not already following. And let us know in the comments, who have I missed? Who should have been in here? Any feedback is welcome, so let me know. Now, the next person and the final person has probably committed one of the most ridiculous crimes I've ever reported on. And that is the TikToker Luke Martin. And you are reading that right. Bundling robber tries to disguise himself by putting a carrier bag over his head, but left a large slit so that people could actually see him through the bag. I mean, this is the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen. Now, he walked into the Day One store on the 9th of May, which was packed with school children at 8:45 a.m. And he pointed a weapon at the woman behind the till before making off with £88 in cash. Now, he's made his way onto TikTok, where he basically acts like one of the biggest incels known to man. His hatred of women is very clear, and I'm going to show you some clips that are going to truly appall you about this guy and make you worried for any woman's safety around him. When I think about it, there's only one video you really need to hear, and that is this absolutely shocking clip here from a live stream. Obviously, some of the horrendous incel comments he's made while live streaming promoted people to want to come in the box and challenge him over things. This led to this absolutely horrific confrontation. Let's go.
We need to check your hard drive. I don't know. But listen.
Okay.
Do you know? No, listen. Do you know?
No, go for yourself, Alice. And I literally hope. I actually am going to say this. I hope that you're winning and nobody believes you.
Imagine aggressively wishing an attack like that on somebody, and it's said with so much venom and hatred.
I actually hope that somebody picks you down, grabs you,
and then goes into a more graphic description of the assault that he wishes would take place on somebody.
and no one believes you.
Anita, I don't stand by that. Kieran. Hard drive checked.
Yeah.
I think it's quite clear why Luke ended up on this list. Now, he's been arrested since multiple times, had accounts banned on TikTok. One to be really aware of, guys. Well, that was the end of the vile TikTokers Iceberg. Thank you to everybody who's watched all the way through. I appreciate you all. Peace.